Yeah.
they seem to be, low. So
Hmm.
how do we put that together with their success in terms of rallying support? I mean, was there a lot more going on from the Shia historical sources?
So Omar did not, and Abu Bakr, they did not come from very respectable clans of Quraysh. They
Right.
did not come, yeah, their family backgrounds are not very reputable and respectable. As some would suggest, right, that they were chiefs of Quraysh. That's not true. They were not chiefs, nor their
Okay.
clans were very respectable, prominent
Yeah.
clans, branches of Quraysh. So they had very meager, very humble roots. However, they gained power because Islam provided that opportunity. What Prophet ﷺ did was it was a revolution. It shattered the old system, and
Mm.
all those previous tribal chiefs, their powers were vanquished by the advent of Islam, and a new system came. And at the helm of that system was the Prophet ﷺ. And
Okay.
whoever was going to replace him, will enjoy his authority. Now, that person who replaced him would be legitimate or illegitimate. That's another question. So Abu Bakr and Omar did not gain their power, their political leadership through because of their family backgrounds, but because they were able to replace the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as a matter of fact, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, both Shia and non-Shia sources, they both concur that he was killed. However, who killed him? How did
Right.
he die? That's the question. At any rate, Abu Bakr and Omar, that's how they came to power. Yeah.
But wasn't it still in the habit of the Arabs to look at lineage and nobility? I mean, isn't that how Uthman was able to sort of reassert the Amawi Asabiya
Yeah,
type of
Omar,
thing?
Abu. So Abu, Arabs never abandoned their tribal identity and taking pride in your ancestors because of Islam came. Islam discouraged it. They never gave up. But Abu Bakr and Omar did not come to power. Everybody knows that, not because of their lineage, not because of their ancestry, just because the perfect times. They were opportunistic. They were close to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was in Medina. They had migrated from Mecca, and they, through help from Abu Sufyan and some other tribes and political alliances, they were to to replace the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah.
Didn't Abu Sufyan approach Sayyidina Ali
No, that's
and
not
say,
true.
"Hey,
That's
listen,
that's
this
absolutely
matter is
ridiculous.
really yours"? No.
That's ridiculous. Abu
Ah,
Sufyan would
okay.
never. Imam Ali alayhi salam had killed his father, his
Right. Right. Right.
his uncle, Abu Sufyan's son, and Abu Sufyan had never forgotten that. Abu
I see.
Sufyan, why would he come? Abu Sufyan is the person whom Abu Bakr the gave him the governorship of Sham, Syria, to his son
Yes. Yes.
Yazid ibn Abi
Yes.
Sufyan. And that was the most prized territory, better than Mecca and Medina, much better than Mecca and Medina. Sham,
Right.
Syria. That was the cradle of civilization, of industry, of wealth at the time. Syria, Sham,
Okay.
Dimashq. He
Okay.
gave it to them.
So
He gave it
that
to
so
them. And Abu Bakr was not stupid to give it to someone who did not, who would not want him to be Khalifa.
mm,
Yeah, he made
so
because he owed them that favor. So in return, they gave him Syria. Yeah.
got it. So that Shia source is false because I think I read that in a Shia source that they
You
tried
read
to.
it. You
Yeah.
read it, and the Shia books that quotes Omari books. That's your problem.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The last question I have is so you can make the argument that Abu Bakr's reign was based on violence, right? That he used these zakat as an excuse, and he eliminated any opposition. So how was he? Who did they employ as their soldiers? I mean, weren't there other tribes that I guess
So
got
if you
behind
go
Abu Bakr? Yeah.
in Tabari, so at that time, tribal chiefs were very influential. If you convince a tribal chief to be your ally, the manpower from those tribes would be your soldiers. They would come and be be your army. So if you read Abu Bakr's sermons, how he made allies with the different tribes, he would promise
Mm,
them that the Syria is very weak. At that time, Syria, Sham was very weak, and we are going to capture it. And Arabs were very, very dazzled by the wealth of Syrian nation, of by the wealth that rested in Persia and Egypt, because Arabs themselves were they were very poor,
Mm.
and these people, these areas were center of civilization and commerce and industry, and there was a lot of wealth there. And Abu Bakr clearly in At-Tabari, in those books, you see he promises them money and women, that when you go and you plunder these lands, what you'll get wealth.
Mhm.
You will bring it. You will capture a lot of wealth, a lot of gold and silver, and also women.
Mm.
So how was he able to make allies? Because he talked to tribal chiefs, and those tribal chiefs talked to their own people, and they were not
Mm.
stupid. They knew, because that was
Okay.
one major thing before Islam and Arabs, that they were raiders.
Mm. Mm.
Arabs were known for raiding the other tribes, other frontier areas. So they would raid in the middle of the night, kill people, take their women, take their wealth. It happened often. And many
Okay.
Sahaba they were, before Islam, they were bandits, they were raiders.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Mhm.
Abu Bakr convinced them, and they knew that this was a distinct possibility. They knew that because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had waged wars, and these neighbors were weak.
Mm.
Neighbors of Islam were weak, and there was a distinct possibility that they could go and raid different towns and bring money and women, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two more questions. Is there any
They
evidence
did
that
not.
Abu
They,
Bakr?
in other words, these tribes who supported Abu Bakr and who fought for Abu Bakr did not do so for their love. They did it because their tribal chiefs promised them women and money in gold and
Mm.
silver. And
Mm.
Abu
Mm.
Bakr had promised the tribal chiefs gold and silver and women.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Quick,
yeah,
two more questions. Is there any evidence that Abu Bakr and Omar lived large? In other words, we get the sense that the Sunnis say that
absolutely.
they
So,
were.
so Abu Bakr died early. He did not live very long after becoming Khalifa. He died within 2 years. But after dying every day, his salary, because he lived very simply before Islam, because he was at his in one of the neighborhoods of Medina, his job was to just milk goats. That was before Islam,
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
before becoming caliph. He was
Yeah.
milking goats, and the people would give him some money, or
Okay.
he would sell clothings in the market.
Hmm.
After become caliph, every day they would give him half a goat, flesh of it. That's a lot of meat, and they give him
Mm.
money and everything. So his
Mm.
salary was quite big. But they were Arabs. They did not know really at the time. They did not. They were a barbarian nation, very backwards Arabs. They did not know like how to build palaces at Abu Bakr's time. I'm saying, and
Mm.
how to throw out great feasts and everything.
Mm.
So Abu Bakr died after 2 years. Omar became caliph, and at the end, Omar was living very opulently.
Okay.
And many sources, you see, Omar had barrels of alcoholic beverages prepared in his house, barrels by barrels. He used to make them, and he
Mm.
had these beautiful girls, beautiful women brought from different areas who would walk around his house with their breasts naked, not only their head
So,
naked, not their only their head, but topless.
oh, okay.
Topless women walking and
This
serving Omar. Yeah,
so this image of zuhud and
yeah. A
piety.
lot of that, a lot of that is a lot of that. They maintain that outwardly, right? Like today,
Mm.
it's very common for Muslim leaders, even scholars, to have two lives, right? One in private, one for
Sure. Sure.
public.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So even within Shia scholars, we know so a lot of Maraja. There was one famous Marja. He was known for his piety,
Yeah.
and one of his students used to curse him, and he used to say that he was such a fraud, such a fake, such a hypocrite guy. Every day before coming in front of people, he would have a very, very delicious breakfast, like
Mm.
different 10, 20 items maybe on his table,
Mm.
eating jams, butter, eggs, fresh bread, and everything. And when he went and had meetings with people, he would ask his servant, "Bring my breakfast," and the guy would bring one small cup of tea and one dry bread and maybe one boiled egg. And people would see him and they would be amazed how this guy is living simply.
Yeah.
So a
No
lot of
Swiss bank.
people, yeah, a
Mhm.
lot of people have duplicitous lifestyles for show because they know it's important. One. Number two, about Abu Bakr and Umar, also the narrators. There has been always a political consideration to promote their characters as counterbalance to Imam Ali alayhi salam, to Ahlul Bayt alayhi
Right,
salam.
right, right, right,
To
right.
always, yeah, to always portray them in good light and portray them as pious and very
Right, right,
noble characters.
right.
So
Got it.
they made an effort themselves also, and also after that, lots of legends and myths were created about them.
Sure, sure. So the Ayatollahs that you speak to, no Swiss bank accounts on that guy, or was it just opulent breakfast? I heard a lot of these guys have a lot of
So
money in the Swiss
no,
bank.
they had, I mean, they have these ayatollahs. They have their stories are very very strange.
Yeah, no, I
If
don't
I
want to get
tell
you into
you, yeah,
trouble. Listen,
yeah,
I don't want to get you in trouble,
mhm,
Hassan Saab. Just one more question:
yeah,
Is it
yeah.
true that that Imam Ali did attempt to rally arms in defense of his Khilafah in the beginning with the shaved heads and the assemble before me and only four people showed up? I've read that in the Shia
Hmm. Yeah,
narrative. So can you
yeah,
comment on that?
yeah. That we believe in that. That's true.
So when was that done? That was done. He
Immediately
was
after the demise of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his burial.
okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so this was done as a response to the announcement of Abu Bakr saying,
yeah.
"Okay, I'm the Khalifa."
In response to Saqifa Bani Sa'ida and Abu Bakr forming the government,
Okay,
Amir
does that
al-Mu'mineen alayhi
violate?
salatu wasalam sought to correct that wrong. Yeah.
Okay, but did that in a way violate the command of Sabr, or was that consistent with Sabr?
So the command of Sabr was conditional on lack of support. If he does
Okay,
not receive support, then he has to, yeah, wait and see how things go. Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your
Thank you so
time.
much, man. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Allah
you.
bless you.